Okay, real short condensed version of this is these two switches, not in good shape. When I depress this one on the bottom, that turns off the limits light. Then the limits light comes back on. Off, on. When I depress this one, the Z Home turns off, Z Home turns on the diagnostics page over here. So it's my Z Home. If you can maybe see that flashing right there in the corner. And then the limits flashing right there at the top on the right. That's kind of, I just wanted to make sure those switches were working. I thought maybe the water was splashing up in there and this corrosion, which is apparently there, might be causing the switch not to work. But the switch seems to be working. But I didn't change any settings on this machine from when it was working fine to when it's not working now. So I don't know why it all of a sudden decided to, if the settings are wrong, I don't know why the settings all of a sudden decided to switch like that, unless, like I said, when I was cutting the heavier gauge material at 100 amps, somehow some current got somewhere and reset something or did something. I don't know. I don't know if that happens at all, but I'm just trying to figure out what might, if you guys can help me figure out what might be causing this. I checked the ohmic sensor fixed itself. For some reason, I came home and messed with it tonight and touched that to the plate, and the light was off like it's supposed to be. In fact, I can show you if I take this little guy right here. I'm going to set you down for a moment. Just one hot second. And I put a little Sawzall blade in there. The sense light comes on when I touch the table like it's supposed to. So that's working. And it's working through the tip as well. The tip is, I checked it earlier, that I hooked it up. This is my own little tip that I made, and it works. I just plug it into this spade and it works just fine. So I'm going to post this up on YouTube, and hopefully you guys can help me. I'm looking at the diagnostics page here. And then the other thing that I tried to show you guys yesterday that didn't, that I got wrong, I showed you the wrong page. The inputs, that's how I have my inputs set for my axes, or for my Z axis, I guess, well, for all my inputs. This is how I have it set. I have probe input and a Z Home switch set on my Z Home. And then, you know, all the rest of these are just as they sit. I've tried not to change anything because it was working at one point in time. And then my Z-axis, these are my settings for my Z-axis. So in my homing direction, it's going to go negative. And my home switch offset was 0.1, which got me right up to like a piece of paper away from touching the plate. I don't know if you need to see any of the rest of it, but there's the X-axis, the Y-axis, the Z-axis, motors, inputs, outputs, advanced. And my machine is plasma no limits, which is what I've got open in the configurator all the time. So that is all the information I have. I looked inside the box to make sure there was no loose wires. I didn't see anything, so I think we're good there. I'm sorry for it to be such a long video, but I just wanted to make sure you guys had all the information you needed. In case you're interested, this is my little shop here. I got that big compressor running it. Was thinking about getting a 100 amp service to it, but one of you guys told me that 100 amp was not necessary to cut 1/2 inch, but the machine instructions say that 100 amp, if I want to ever run it at 100 amps, so if I ever want to cut like 1 inch or whatever like that, I'm going to need a 100 amps. So I might get that, but it's not a big thing right now. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys. Thank you very much.